So every month try to spend less than what your grocery budget is, and keep the remaining amount so that when something that you use goes on sale, you can stock up. Over time you'll know your stock up price, price that you can just buy something that you need, and price that's up, that's the price for you to stock up. And if there could be some grocery staples that they won't go on sale, so those you might want it, you might want to buy them every month. But when you are buying those things and you try not to spend all your money for that month, the remaining, you can decide what extra you want to purchase. So a little by little you will build your grocery supply without going over your grocery budget. One thing I found that makes things a little bit easier is when you do not have a lot of a variety of items, like different brand of mayo, for instance, different type of ketchup season, or different type of dressing. When you do not have those different type of the same thing, man, makes it a little easier as well. So, and you may not need a lot of space for your item. So I think it can help as well. I just like mayo. I don't use mayo. My husband likes it, but we don't buy much. And when we have, a lot of time it goes bad in the fridge, like it expired. So it's not something I put on my list. My husband likes sweet and sour and ketchup, so we like to have those on hand. And beside that, salad dressing, when I show you kefir, so kefir we can drink it, we can make dressing out of it. So I show you kefir in the fridge. When I make this salad this evening, I'm going to use kefir for the dressing, and I have a video that I've been sharing already that has kefir dressing for the salad. If I don't have kefir, then I'll just use vinegar and oil and salt, mix it together for my dressing. We'll call it vinaigrette, and that's good for me. So I just know that I need kefir, or I need vinegar, and I need oil, and then I'll make my dressing. I don't need 2-3 type of salad dressing in my fridge, so that's a space there that I'm not occupying. And what else? So yeah, you just have to see what you use in your cooking to see how you can simplify your shelf staples and even in your fridge shelves, right? By just choosing one product and stick to it, instead of having to have different variety of that product. And if you can grow your own food, you can save money over time, as some other items you won't have to buy. For instance, we do not buy onion from the garden. I harvested some Egyptian working onion, and I've been using it in my cooking. So we have the baby onion and the motherboard onion, so they don't do well in storage. Therefore, I like to harvest the green leaves, chop them and put in the freezer. And those that I show in the freezer, they are for winter supply. So if I need onion right now, I might use some from here, or I might go in the garden and get some for my cooking. So we do not buy onion, we do not buy garlic. So if I need garlic, I can just use the leaves of the garlic growing in the garden in my cooking. And then we have herbs. Herbs are spice as well. They are just the leaf. When spice, they are either the roots or the seeds. But herbs, they are all in that same spice category. So if you live in a zone that you can have some herbs that can be perennial to your zone, that's great. So, and then little by little, you won't have to buy spices, or you won't have to buy all of them. You can simplify and just buy a few. For instance, I buy chili pepper. I didn't show you, but chili pepper was on the list and my husband got it. So I'll buy chili pepper, and I will purchase I think that's it. Yeah, we have horseradish, that's a raw spice, and then we have winter savory, wild thyme, and sage in the garden. And those, when I want, I will just harvest them and add it to my cooking. But what I like to do with them though is just mix them with butter and pack them in a jar and put it in the freezer. That way when I cook meat, for example, I can just scoop some and drizzle on the meat. That's one way to use it, or you can scoop some and add it to your cooking. So it's pretty much like prepping, you know, your things for cooking, but it's done months ahead of time. So I don't prep food to put in my freezer, but when I purchase vegetables or I harvest vegetables from the garden, I will chop them, put them in a bag, put them in the freezer. When I need them, I just take some out and put in my pan and start cooking. And it saves some time having those done ahead of time. But I don't like to occupy my freezer space with food mixed together for cooking, because by doing that, by prepping your food and putting in the freezer, you might have to mix ingredients that are shelf stable with ingredients that are freezer stable together. So that will occupy more of your freezer space. For that reason, I don't do that. I just keep everything where they goes, and I don't really need a lot of things in my cooking. So simplifying everything. When I'm going to cook, I don't need a lot of seasoning. So I just know that I need to thaw the meat, and the meat are just salted and put in my oven, and it will be done. So if I wanted to go a little bit more than that, I have my herb oil or herb butter that I can just warm it up a little bit to melt some and drizzle on the meat if I want to do that, you know. So yeah. And rice does not take long to cook, so just having those raw, those shelf stable ingredients on the shelves to cook them, it doesn't take long. I just need to have a list of meals that won't take me too much time to prep and cook, or won't take long at all to cook once I prep them, depending on the goal that I have in mind. So you just have to have a list of those different type of meal that require different type of prepping time and different type of cooking time, to categorize them, to know based on your schedule which list to choose from, and to know the ingredient you need for each one of them, to have them on hand. And you know, one raw ingredient, you can do a lot of things with it. When you have rice, the way I show you, those rice, you can make risotto out of them if you want. You can make jambalaya out of it if you want. You can cook plain rice if you want. You can cook stir-fry rice if you want. So there is so many things you can make using rice. And when you cook, you know, meat, you can serve rice on the side. So with flour, we talk about it. You can do pizza, you can do egg roll, you can do bread, and I'm sure there is other things you can do with from flour. And with kefir, that's that's a probiotic drink, and we can make dressing out of it as well. For that reason, I do not buy vinegar, the apple cider vinegar with the mother. I used to purchase it to have it on hand as well. I do not purchase it anymore. I just use kefir for my dressing. So, and that's that. So that saved me a few dollars right there. And the milk, we are purchasing it anyway for cereal, and when they're about to expire, I have made to ferment, and then I'll have those fermented milk in the fridge for drinking and for making dressing. So oil, we use peanut oil. Sometimes I'll buy olive oil so that, you know, we can make dressing with it, or we can drizzle on plain rice that we want to eat and things like that. So, and beans. beans, we cook beans. We saw the dry beans there. So when we cook beans, I like to cook more than what I'm going to use, and I'll put some in my ice cream container for soup that I have in the freezer, and then the rest I can, sometimes I will make rice and bean. I like to cook them together. So I will cook that and serve it with meat, egg, whatever that is. And then I like to, with that bean, you can make bean soup or chili, you know. Yeah, and knowing different things you can make out of the ingredient you have, and having those different ingredients, knowing that you can make different meals out of those ingredients you have, and having the different ingredients that will go in those meals preparations. When you decide what you want to cook, you have the ingredient to work with. Yes, it does require some planning, but yeah, you can save money by building your food supply on a budget, and you can build your food supply on a budget without going over your grocery budget. And if you can grow some of your own vegetables, that's one more way that you can save money on your groceries as well. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Afia the Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel and ninasoap.com, our blog. And during our things, you notice that you didn't see soap on it. Yes, because we make our own soap and we sell those at ninasoap.com, where we sell our natural products, and we buy our own soap as well. So I have some of them around here that we use, and to shower and to wash your hand, we just use our own soap. So I think I have some here, but I like to cut it in small pieces from the one we sell, so that the kids don't waste them. So I have some in the cabinet as well. But yeah, you can, and then by just making our own soap, we don't buy dish soap, we don't buy body wash soap. And for our hair, for the kids' hair, I wash it with the soap. And my hair, I just wash it with baking soda. So having baking soda, I clean the house with it, and I wash my hair with it. And having the white vinegar, I clean the house with it, and I rinse my hair with it as well. So yeah, I don't buy hair shampoo or hair conditioner anymore, and those things don't even go on our grocery budget. Those things are more a part of our allowances. My husband and I, undergarment or clothing or shoes, we have a budget for our allowances, and we can spend that on those things without giving a reason, without telling the other why we spend our own money on. But other than that, our grocery budget is just for food related and bathroom, like toilet paper. So you see, you didn't see paper towel on our grocery, because we do not use paper towel. We use cloth napkins, and we sell those at ninasoap.com as well. But we have a lot of those, and we use them to wipe hand and to hold hot dishes, and it just saves us money not having to spend money on those. So in my process to make my kitchen child-proof, when my kids were young, I pretty much declutter my kitchen, and then in turn we use those, drawer for our cloth napkin. So we have them here. When kids start school, they are going to take their own lunch to school. That's how we do it. And we use, they have towels to put their forks and spoon in it. At the same time, when we are eating at home, we use them as well. So we have some in the pantry. In those buckets that I have on the floor, there is one bucket that has some in it that we use on a daily basis. So in the bathroom, we have some in the bathroom that we use to wipe hand as well. So having those cloth napkin, we do not buy paper towel. And here we have the soap. We have more of the soap down there as well. And this is one thing that when it goes on sale around the end of the year, I like to stock up. Because you saw pancake on the list, we make pancake, sheet pancake with chocolate chips in it. And pretty much I have a year worth of chocolate chips there. Goes in the pancake, or if I'm making chocolate milk pudding. So those are, what I will use as well. So thank you so much for your time. We thank you very much, you all that subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much for all your comments. And thank you for watching our videos.